How is it going, everyone? It's Kalomity here, and today we are going to be talking about another PlayStation 1 game. We are going to be talking about Mortal Kombat Trilogy. Now, there's some good about this game, there's some bad about this game, but we're going to talk about the bad first. Just get it out of the way. Get the bad out of the way first. My problem with this game is the same that was in Mortal Kombat 2. The balancing issues and the fact that this game uses input reading. Input reading sucks, and I'm not a big fan of it, and they use it in this game, and it just makes it feel very cheap whenever you get killed in this game. I know I'm bad at Mortal Kombat games. I don't need a computer to cheat me extra harder to make me even worse, okay? So, I'm not a big fan of the input stuff going on, the input reading, not a fan of that. The same problem happened in Mortal Kombat 2. It's still in this game as well. It's annoying. It's there in this one, and it does hold this game back for me. However, that being said, if you look at the stuff other than that, even though that's a big part of it, there's still a lot of good stuff here. First of all, probably the best part about this game is the character roster. You have a massive, massive character roster here. Tons and tons of characters to choose from, and a lot of really cool characters. I actually like a lot of the characters that you can choose in this game, and you can even choose some of the bosses from past games, like Goro, for example. You can choose Goro and play as him, and I think that's actually really cool that you can play as him. And you guys also play as Shao Kahn. Again, really cool. I think that's awesome. And you just have a massive list of different characters to play as, and even my favorite is in this game, Melina. She's in this game. You can play as Shiva. I think Shiva's really cool, but she kind of sucks in this game, if I'm being honest. I wasn't a big fan of trying to use her. I thought she wasn't very good. But then again, it could just be me being terrible with the character. But you guys, of course, famous ones as well, like Scorpion and, Sub-Zero, Johnny Cage. You got all those ones. You also have Noob Sabat. I think that's how you say his name. Very odd name for a character, by the way. But he is actually really cool. He's like the original Sub-Zero or whatever. I do really like that character. I just think that he's a really cool-looking guy, Cool-looking design and everything. And I will say a lot of the zones and the levels for this game look fantastic. They did a great job with the graphics on this game. They still used full motion video for the actual characters, which I think is fine. I actually still like the full motion video for the characters. I think they look pretty good. I've always been kind of a fan of that just because it's very nostalgic to me. It's kind of cheesy, but it's cheesy in a good way. I like seeing that, so not really any problem with that, even though I still like the 3D Mortal Kombat games, and we'll talk about those in the future videos, but I still like the graphics. I think the graphics are still pretty good. I think stage design is great. Love the way the stages look. And all that stuff is great. They did a different thing in this game, but it's kind of cool. So, in Mortal Kombat 1 and 2, you can only pick, like, you only have one pillar, basically. You only have one choice whenever you're going into tournaments. You can't select your different pillars or whatever. This game has multiple different pillars that you can select. As Novice, it has, and it just goes up from Novice. It goes Novice, Master, and so on and so forth. But it's cool that you don't have just one basic tournament to pick. You can pick one of a few different tournaments. So I did think that was actually pretty cool as well, just giving you more choice, and that's always a good thing. So I did like that. The only thing I would say is a negative in that respect, and with just kind of like the way all the actual settings and everything work, is that the loading screens are kind of annoying in this game. It's PlayStation 1. You probably won't have that issue on like N64, for example, but on PlayStation 1, the loading screens are a bit annoying. Those popped up quite a bit, and they definitely slowed down the gameplay, and was not a huge fan of that. But still, that's just more of a console limitation than a game limitation. The combat is Mortal Kombat. I mean, it's kind of clunky. It's what you expect from the older Mortal Kombat games. It doesn't feel very clean or pristine or anything like that. It feels dirty and messy, and there's a lot of people who prefer that style of fighting. So if you are a fan of Mortal Kombat, style gameplay, you're going to enjoy this. If you're a fan of the original, Mortal Kombat 1 and 2 gameplay, you're going to like this one. It plays similar to those with definitely more moves, and it's hard for me to compliment that gameplay because I'm not a huge fan of it, but I know a lot of people are. So if you are a fan of that stuff, you're going to like it. So that's the good news for that. And I will say I did like being able to play as the bosses. I thought that was cool. However, you also do get that boss strength. So the game becomes very easy when you pick a boss character, okay? I kept picking Motaro. I thought that character was awesome. I just loved the idea of this like Minotaur-looking dude running around beating the crap out of other fighters. I thought it was really cool. And I like playing as him, but it makes the game too easy. But then you kind of have the flip side of that, where if you pick a normal character, then the game gets ridiculously hard. And this game, again, since it has input reading, it doesn't really follow, the directions of whatever difficulty you set the game on. So you can set it on easy all you want, but since it has input reading, it's not really going to make much of a difference. So it kind of sucks that it does that, but, again, it is what it is. That's just kind of how Mortal Kombat games were back in the day for the first 3 of them. But still, if you like Mortal Kombat, and you are wanting more Mortal Kombat, this is a lot of Mortal Kombat here. There's a lot of stuff going on here. A lot of cool stuff. Of course, you have fatalities and all the extra fatalities and finishers in this game that you're used to. And I think that anyone who likes the other Mortal Kombat games, you should probably pick this up as well. Interestingly enough, I actually avoided Mortal Kombat Trilogy for a long time just because of the name of it. Because I thought when it was called Mortal Kombat Trilogy, I thought that it was literally just going to be like Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3, just independent games just on one disc, like a compilation disc. So I actually avoided getting this game for a long time just because of that. And it turns out that's not really what this game is. It is actually just Mortal Kombat 3. It's Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. Just it has Mortal Kombat 1 and 2 stages basically remastered. And that's basically what it is. So it is still Mortal Kombat 3 technically. It still has the same story as Mortal Kombat 3 and all that stuff. But it does just add Mortal Kombat 1 and 2 stages remastered. So don't let the name fool you. It fooled me for a long time. Then I actually looked into it. I was just like, oh, it is Mortal Kombat 3. Okay, I'll pick it up. So I am glad I picked it up and at least tried it out. Even though it's not my thing, I definitely think that a lot of Mortal Kombat fans will enjoy this game and love this game, especially if you like the first 2 Mortal Kombats. If you like the first 2 Mortal Kombats, you're going to love this one. It does everything those 2 games do, but just adds a lot more to it. So go check out Mortal Kombat Trilogy if you are a fan of the Mortal Kombat games. I'm going to talk about the 3D ones coming up in the future. Those are the ones that I got into a lot and the ones that I enjoy the most. But these first 3 games I still have to respect, because if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have the Mortal Kombat that I know and love today. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button and subscribe button down below. I'll see you next time. You have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.